Hello and welcome to another presentation from Tactical Inquiries. Today we're going to be looking at a fairly uncommon but fairly conventional pair of optics, the Elcan SU-230, as its military designation indicates. This is an Elcan Specter DR, but this is the military version with the military reticle. I believe these have been issued to MARSOC, a couple other Marine units, a couple of Army guys, and of course have been seen on Mk18s and other SF groups and things like that. Now what makes this a little different to your standard Elcan other than the reticle are its markings. So as you can see, if we bring that up to focus, this is an SU-230 PVS. It's the 5.56 reticle. They call it an articulated telescope. And it has the Elcan Specter DR branding there. Standard arms mount, same thing. Up top we do have a flat mount where we have the MRDS, which is the micro red dot sight made by Insight and Eotech as a joint venture. You can see there that we've got the Insight logo. It's a pretty primitive early micro red dot sight. It works fine. I think it's 2 or 3 MOA. Battery life has been good so far. It uses a standard small coin battery and is top loaded, so you don't necessarily need to take anything off in order to replace the battery other than that cover. Now this originally would have had a rear sort of ghost ring backup iron sight and a front post. That was missing when I got this optic. It was bought used, so that is no longer there. The backup sighting system is now the MRDS. Now when I bought the MRDS, it came as a kit. It came with some interesting pieces actually. Originally, the kits as they were issued were going to be used for some sort of RECCE role where essentially you would get these 30mm ring attachments with a small section of Picatinny, and then you would then mount the MRDS on one of these little riser plates. And this is just standard M1913. You can mount this onto anything, and it makes a fairly interesting little red dot, very similar to a Delta Point or whatever it is that Trigicon makes. Now, what they also included was this riser plate, so this all came as part of the same Insight package. This riser plate essentially would allow you to have an elevated MRDS. For some reason, it was mismatched when it came. It came with this black. I've also seen tan risers or gray risers. Now, the part that did not come with the kit, which is actually very, very difficult to get, are these armored hoods, very similar to an Eotech. Now, this just slips right over the optic and offers some more protection, as the MRDS is actually fully plastic, making it very lightweight but also very fragile. And if you're dropping a Block 2 SOP-mod clone build, essentially optic down first with an Elcan, you're talking about pretty substantial weight coming down on top of that, which is very likely to break. So having a buffer like this is not the worst thing in the world. These are quite difficult to get. They usually run about $100 to $130. So if you can find a kit that includes these, it's definitely worth a little bit of extra money. Now when those kits were originally sold, there was a bunch of them that went onto the secondary market, and they were quite cheap. It was $200, and it came with everything you see here, to include this TACSWAP killflash type item here. It's got a lot number underneath, and as I'll show you, that just slips right over the top here and just clicks down into place. Now it looks kind of goofy like a snorkel, but I know that the whole RECCE thing is very much all the rage these days. I actually have a TACSWAP killflash that's coming in for the front of this optic. It's threaded, as you can see. So I'll be running it in that configuration. So in general, it's your standard Elcan. You've got your 1:4 adjustment lever there. Standard old school arms mount. Not the most sophisticated in the world, but it works. And then in terms of the reticle, I'll try to show you as we come up to the camera lens here. I'll have some B-roll of this as well. There we go, excellent. So the dot is currently illuminated. This is at 1 power. and 4 power. Eye relief is obviously then more challenged. If you can't read the script down the bottom, it just says M4 and M249 for use with 556. Now this dot can actually get quite bright for use in daylight. Does also have night vision settings. And there is also an illuminated cross, which is quite dim in daylight, but may have some use for night vision shooting. There you go, you can actually see it much better when it's occluded. But yeah, this is an extremely robust optic. They're quite heavy. This is about 10 ounces heavier than a standard TA31 ACOG. So if you're considering a lighter weight build, this is definitely not it. These are good for cloning. They're good for intermediate range. The glass is quite clear, and these are quite robust units. I know people talk a lot about scars, throwing them off from all the reciprocating mass of that piston-driven system, but on a standard AR-15, they're absolutely fine. They're quite accurate. They're quite easily adjustable through use of things like this click wheel here. Really, they're an absolutely standout optic, and it's what I currently have on my URGI upper build. So, just wanted to show off some of these rarer parts. As you may have seen these on some clone Instagram pages or on the internet, you almost never see this configuration with the hood. But I would highly recommend, if you can get one of these or you can get them in the kit, definitely worth putting on, as this falling upside down with almost 24 ounces of weight, along with the rifle's weight, onto what is essentially a plastic version of an RMR, you're going to have a bad time. Something else to show is just the brightness of that backup iron sight. So I'll get that on. So this has multiple settings as well. Let's see if I can just get that up to the camera. Right here. And we pan up, we pan down. Just trying to find the dot. The dot is on. Let's see. There we go. So you can see the dot is fairly crisp. Can go up to quite bright for daylight. And all the adjustments are done by just continuously clicking night vision setting and then back up to visible. Hold to turn off. But yeah, interesting choice that they would go for a plastic or polymer bodied backup red dot when the optic is already so heavy and robust that they might as well have just gone for something else. These mounting plates can be interchanged for ones that will accommodate RMRs, delta points, things like that. But this is the I guess earlier clone correct configuration for a Block 2 build, a Mk18 Mod 1, or any of the Block 2s. So if you have any questions about this unit or anything else, we're going to be doing a couple more videos on these clone type optics. Some of the rarer parts that are harder to find, what they look like, what they do, and how to use them. So if you've got any questions or inquiries, please do leave them down in the comments. Thank you very much for your time, and have a good one. Bye.